personalities, his Parshadas, everybody appeared. So Gaur Sundar is the ocean of mercy, Nityananda Prabhu is the ocean of mercy. The personification of devotional service that has been emphasized. So we are in the 9th verse, right? Sorry, 7th verse.
No, Mataji. Fifth
verse. No? Yeah. Jai Jai Shri Karuna Sindhu Gaura Chandra, Jai Jai Shri Seva Vigraha Nityananda. Now Seva Vigraha has been emphasized. He is Seva Vigraha. Nityananda Prabhu is Seva Vigraha. Very nice name. Seva Vigraha here refers to the personification of devotional service. And Karuna Sindhu is Gaura Chandra. So this is a nice thing to be taught to the children also. Who is Gaura Sundar? He is Karuna Sindhu. Who is Nityananda Prabhu? He is Seva Vigraha. So in this way, Gaura Sundar is the ocean of mercy. Krishna Kaviraj Goswami emphasizes in Chaitanya Chaitamrita that if you are indeed interested in logic and argument, kindly apply it to the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you do so, you will find it to be strikingly wonderful. So this is a very nice statement which has been given in Chaitanya Chaitamrita. If you have so much interest in logic, argument, very good, wonderful. So apply with logics, understand how is he distributing the mercy. With one's logic and intelligence, try to understand that how the mercy, because of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so many have been transformed. So if we apply these logics and argument, then a person will be completely awestruck. Srila Rupa Goswami has also offered his obeisances to the Lord and glorified him as Mahavadanyaya. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Krishe Namaha. We chant this mantra for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Namo Mahavadanyaya. He is the Mahavadanyaya avatar. Krishna Prema Pradayate. He has appeared to give Krishna Prema, the love of Krishna to everyone. It is said, Srimati Radharani is very possessive of Krishna. She has locked Krishna in the heart. Intentionally, Krishna makes her burn in the fire of separation. There's a nice, wonderful pastime in this. It said, why Krishna is making her burn in the fire of separation? Because she has locked Krishna within her heart. And Krishna wants to melt her heart. Only when there is a fire, the thing is melted. So that fire of separation melts Radharani's heart, because of which love of Krishna pours to the entire world, and that is Chaitanya. Krishna intentionally burns or melts the heart of Srimati Radharani, and that melted heart, that melted form is Chaitanya. And that is why Krishna Prema Pradayate, the love of Krishna is poured to the entire world. So Audarya Leela has been presented very wonderfully. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is a personification of service. Being a servant of Gaur Sundar, who is the supreme worshipable Lord, Nityananda Prabhu personally worships Gaura and is the worshipable Lord of the pure devotees. Although Nityananda Rama, the Lord of Lords, is Vishnu himself, he is a servant and assistant in Swayam Rupa, Gaura's magnanimous pastimes. Lord Nityananda serves his Lord in 10 forms. Even today, the deity of Nityananda is seen in Navadvip and Jagannath Puri. In this way, here it has been emphasized that he is servant and also the assistant in Swayam Rupa, Gaura's Swayam Rupa. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Rupa, this is Swayam Rupa, that is Krishna himself has appeared. That is why it is Swayam Rupa Prakash. It is not just Prakasha, it is Swayam Rupa. One is Vaibhav Prakasha. But here, Swayam Rupa, that means he has appeared himself. It is not just Vaibhava or Prakasha he is exhibiting. He has appeared. When he has appeared, Nityananda Prabhu has also appeared. And it is said here that Nityananda Prabhu serves Lord in 10 forms. 10 forms means 10 rasas, 10 different rasas. But ultimately, he is serving Krishna. He is serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so nicely. So he is a personification of service. Sometimes he takes the mood of a father, sometimes the mood of a brother, sometimes the mood of a mother, sometimes the mood of a priyasi. In this way, he serves. अभिज्ञाता तत्वद्वयी भाई आर भक्तः तथापि कृपाय तत्वकरेण सुव्यक्तः सुव्यक्तः. Although the truth of the two brothers and their devotees are incomprehensible, they can be realized by the mercy of their lordships. Both Lord Gaura and Nitai, as well as their pure devotees, are beyond the reach of material senses and eternally full of knowledge and bliss. Therefore, proud mundane speculators who are simply interested in sense gratification cannot understand the real forms. They mercifully manifest their incomprehensible form only to their fully surrendered servants who have taken shelter of them. Srila Kaviraj Goswami has prayed to Gaur Nitai in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita as follows: I offer my respectful obeisances to Chaitanya Nityananda, who are like the sun and the moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gauda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. Also in Chaitanya Charitamrita 1.98, he writes, but these two brothers, Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu, dissipate the darkness of the inner court of the heart, and thus they help one meet the two kinds of Bhagavatas, persons or things in relationship with the personality of Godhead. The word Avigyata Tattvaha indicates that the truth of these two brothers is unknown to one with a materialistic enjoying mentality. In other words, they are beyond the jurisdiction of material knowledge or sense perception. So two brothers have appeared in Gaudadesha, and Chaitanya Charitamrita speaks about where Krishna Kaviraj Goswami says, two brothers have appeared in the Gaudadesha. How they have appeared? Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahoditau, along with Nityananda Prabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also appeared. Gaudadaye Pushpavantau Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau. They have appeared like sun and the moon together. Gaudadaye, in the region of Gaudadesha, Pushpavantau refers to like sun and the moon. Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau. They are so wonderful. Sandau means they have appeared to give benediction, by which Tamonudau, all the darkness or ignorance can be automatically removed. So in this way, both have been described as the sun and the moon. Even in 98 verse also it has been said, Dui bhayirde rakshali andhakara, Dui bhagavataha sange karana sakshatkara. Both the brothers have come to dissipate the darkness of the inner court of the heart. So the Agyanta, which is there in the inner core of the heart, that can be removed only by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So one is removing the darkness from the root. One is just cutting the grass from the top. Again the grass will grow. The sinful tendency has to be removed. One is killing the sinner. One is killing the sinful tendency. And that is why Kali Yuga, how many people Krishna can kill? Because all are sinners in some or the other way. So that is why inner core of the heart, that means where the sins are breeding, that has to be enlightened. That has to be, that kachra has to be removed. The contamination has to be removed. And then the inner core of the heart has to be illuminated. And that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared. So those who have taken their shelter, then only they can understand. Their mercy is manifest to those who have taken their shelter. Gaur Nitai. Whoever has taken their shelter, for them, this kripa, this Mahavadanyaya kripa or Mahavadanyaya form is revealed. So there are two kinds to meet the two kinds of Bhagavatas. What are the two kinds of Bhagavatas? Bhakta Bhagavata, Grantha Bhagavata. Two kinds of Bhagavatas. Even the Grantha Bhagavata can be understood when you take shelter of Gaur Nitai. And how to serve Bhakta Bhagavat, that can be understood only when we take shelter of Gaur Nitai. A very nice story comes there. Devananda Pandit. He was a relative of Sarvabhaumacharya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was passing through his village. And here Devananda Pandit was he was a scholarly person. Every day he used to give Bhagavad Katha. So once it so happened, when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, what kind of Bhagavata you are? Do you think you are a scholarly person? You can speak Bhagavata? You don't know anything about Bhagavatam. You are only doing a show off of Bhagavatam. Devananda Pandit was shocked to hear this. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, if you remember, in your assembly, when you are speaking Bhagavatam, there was a great devotee, Srivas Thakur. Srivas Thakur was hearing to Srivas Pandit. Srivas Pandit was hearing to your Bhagavatam. When he was hearing to your Bhagavatam, because he's an exalted personality, he was just relishing the Bhagavatam and tears were flowing through his eyes. And your disciples, other disciples, when they saw Srivas Pandit crying, they just caught him and threw him out. And you did not even tell anything to them. You should have checked their behavior, but you did not do that. You just observe what they are doing and then you are quiet. That itself shows that you are not a Bhagavata. Bhagavata means one whose heart melts by hearing the Leelas of Krishna. If somebody's heart is melting by hearing the Leelas of Krishna, you should actually praise and hanker for such type of melting of the heart. Even my heart should melt. Nayanam galadashudharya, vadanam gadgadudyagira, pulakaya nichitam vapu kada tava nama grahane bhavishyati. When am I going to have such type of ecstatic symptoms? When I hear your name, O Krishna. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells this. Nayanam galadashudharya, this thing should happen. And these things are happening to Srivas Pandit. And instead of appreciating his behavior and hankering for such behavior, what did you do? You allowed your students to throw him out. That is why you are not at all a Bhagavata. Then Devananda Pandit, he could realize his mistake. He took shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After that, he really became a Bhagavata. So two kinds of Bhagavatas, that is Grantha Bhagavat, Bhakta Bhagavat, the service to the Bhagavatas and the service to Grantha Bhagavat can be understood only when a person takes shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed the Guhya Tattvas, which is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam was existing even before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Radharani. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can give the most confidential tattvas in Srimad Bhagavatam. Next verse. Brahmadraha Sfurti haya Krishnera kripaya sarvashastre vede bhagavata yai gaya. So even Brahmaji is enhanced by the mercy of Krishna. So this is confirmed in all the scriptures such as Vedas and the Bhagavatas and Srimad Bhagavatam. We know the Brahma Vimoha Leela, where Brahmaji had a doubt that the one who is playing along with Krishna, along with all the Gopas, is he really the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Because he is playing in such a simple way. Like how the small children play with their friends. The friends are putting something in the mouth of Krishna, then Krishna removes from his mouth, gives in others' mouth, and then they give from their mouth to Krishna's mouth. So such a nice, wonderful pastime is happening on the banks of Yamuna. And Brahmaji is completely surprised. That is why Tene Brahmurdaya Adi Kaviya Muyanti Yat Surayah. This is so confidential topic. Though the creation, Janmadesya Tanvyadi Taratah Chartesha Vikyaswara Tene Brahmurdaya Adi Kaviya Muyanti Yat Surayah. Janma. Janma means creation, maintenance, portion, destruction, praya. All these things, this knowledge is given to Brahma, but Muyanti Yat Surayah. So what is not given? The madhurima of Krishna, the sweetness of Krishna, the knowledge of the sweetness of Krishna is even hidden in the Vedas. Radha Tattva, Krishna Tattva is especially Radha Tattva. Krishna Tattva at least is revealed to some extent in Vedas and Bhagavatam. But Radha Tattva is complete a confidential topic even to the Vedas. Because it's only when Krishna wants to enjoy. That is time the Hiladini Shakti automatically serves Krishna. And Hiladini Shakti, the personification of Hiladini Shakti is Srimati Radharani. That is the sweetness of Krishna. Or the sweet dealings of Krishna with the Vrajavasis. Nanda Baba, Yashoda. They're all friends, Sudama, Shridama, Madhumangal. So all these friends, how Krishna behaves with all these friends and all the gopis, there is a most confidential subject matter even in the Vedas, even in Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything is not so revealed, but that can be only understood when a person takes shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because in very subtle way, Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Take shelter of me in the mood of Vrajavasis, Vraja. Krishna has pronounced the name of Vraja. Only when a person takes shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can understand, Acha, we have to take shelter of Krishna in the mood of Vrajavasis. What is the mood of Vrajavasis? They are Ragatmika Bhaktas. Ragatmika Bhaktas means they have such a raga. Raga means so much of love for Krishna that they don't know that Krishna is God. Even though Krishna sometimes wants to show his opulence, because of the prema, such prema to Krishna, Ragatmika prema to Krishna, that sweetness and the loving dealings with Krishna automatically surpasses the opulence of Krishna. We have the Dham Bandhan Leela. You name a Leela in Vrindavan. Like when Krishna eats the mud, Krishna shows in the mouth. All these Leelas we can see, even though Krishna wants to show his opulence, the sweetness of the sweet dealings of the Vrajavasis with Krishna is so great that the opulence has to take one step back. Prachodita yena pura saraswati pitanvatajasya satim smritim hidi swalakshana pradurabhuvat bhut kilasyatah save rishinam rishabha prasidata. Here is the same thing has been told. The Lord has given the knowledge of creation. Everything in the heart of Brahma. Tene Brahma Udayadikavi, in the heart of Brahma. And in this way, may the Lord, who in the beginning of the creation amplified the potent knowledge of Brahma from within his heart and inspired him with full knowledge of creation and his own self, and who appeared to be generated from the mouth of Brahma, be pleased with me. When Maharaj Parikshit inquired from Sukadeva Goswami about Lord Hari's pastimes of creation, Sukadeva Goswami first remembered the Supreme Lord and then offered his prayers, such as the verse on Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 4th chapter, 22nd verse. There are many passages in Srimad Bhagavatam that describes how Lord Brahma, the original spiritual master, in the Brahma Sampradaya heard Srimad Bhagavatam, the ripened fruit of the Vedas, Galitam Param, from Narayana. Some of those passages are as follows. Tene Brahma Udaya Adi Kavi. it is he only who first imparted Vedic knowledge into the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. Mayadau Brahmane Proktah Dharmo Yasya Mad Atmakah. I spoke the Vedic knowledge to Brahma because I myself am the religious principles enunciated in the Vedas, 11.14.3. Idam Bhagavataha Purvam Brahmane Nabhi Pankaja Samprakshitam Prakashitam. It was to Lord Brahma that the Supreme Lord first revealed the Bhagavatam in full. 12.13.10 says, Kasmayena Vibhasitoyam Atulo Jnana Pradipaha Pura, who in the beginning personally revealed this incomparable torchlight of Brahma to torchlight of knowledge to Brahma. 12.13.19 says, and ya idam kripaya kasmai vyachachakshe mokshave, who personally explained the science to Brahma when he anxiously desired salvation. Bhagavatam 12.13.20 says. So in Bhagavatam 11th canto, 12th canto, 1st canto, we find like how Krishna gives this knowledge to Brahma and how he gives within his heart. He gives his knowledge to Brahma within his heart. He gives a knowledge about the creation, about himself, everything. This fact is also confirmed in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.18 as follows. Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedamscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tam Ha Devam Atmabuddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanam Aham Prapadye. Because I desire liberation, let me surrender unto the Lord, who first enlightened Brahma in the Vedic knowledge through Brahma's heart. The Lord is the original source of all enlightenment and spiritual advancement. Also in Shvetashvatara Upanishad, it is stated, Vedante Paramam Guhyam Parakalpe Prachodhitam. The confidential knowledge of Vedas was spoken long ago in a previous kalpa. In the Brihad Aranyakya Upanishad, it is stated, Asya Mahato Bhutasya Nishvasitam Etat Yad Rigvedas Yajuras Vedah Samavedo Atharvangirasa Itihasah Puranam Vidya Upanishadaha Shlokah Sutranyanu Vyakhyananyasya Vaitani Sarvani Nivashanti. So Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda, Atharvaveda, Itihasas, the histories, the Puranas, the Upanishads, the Shlokas, the mantras chanted by the Brahmanas, the sutras, or the accumulation of Vedic statements, as well as the Vidya, transcendental knowledge, and the explanation of the sutras and the mantras all emanate from the breath of the Lord. So Vedas emanate from the breath of the Lord. The histories, the Itihasas, the Puranas, they also emanate from the breath of the Lord. The mantras emanate from the breath of the Lord. The sutras emanate from the breath of the Lord. So in this way, the whole Vidya, the transcendental knowledge, this knowledge which emanates from the breath of the Lord is given to Brahma within the heart. So Brahma gets this knowledge that has been emphasized. Purve Brahma Janmile Nabhi Padma Haite Tathapi Shakti Hai Kichu Dikhite Tabe Yabe Sarva Bhave Laila Sharana Tabe Prabhu Kripaya Dilena Darshana Tabe Kripa Krishna Kripaya Sfurila Saraswati Tabe Se Janila Sarva Avatara Sthiti. So how Brahma appeared? From Garbhodakshay Vishnu, the lotus emanates. Mahavishnu glances at the Mahatattva. Mahavishnu is also Kaladakshay Vishnu glances, infuses the Kala Shakti, the Jiva Shakti. And in this way, a lot of Brahmandas are created. In every Brahmanda, Lord enters. As many Brahmandas, so many Brahmas, so many Garbhodakshay Vishnu, so many Brahmas. So from the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Brahmaji appears. Our Brahmanda is the smallest Brahmanda. That is why our Brahma has only 4 heads. Other Brahmandas are very huge Brahmandas. That is why Brahma has many heads over there. once Brahma visited Dwarka, he always had the pride of being the creator and four-headed Brahma. He comes to the watchman, the doorkeeper of the palace of Krishna. He tells, inform Krishna that I have come. He said, who are you? He said, don't you recognize me? I am Brahma, the creator of this entire Srishti. So he said, I really don't know who are you, but still I'll go and give the message to Krishna. Then Krishna got the message that Brahma has come. So Brahma was taken inside, and there Brahma was shocked to see there are so many other Brahmas. They were all paying obeisances to Lord Krishna. It is said when Brahma paid obeisances, so many heads also paid obeisances, so many heads with so many helmets. At that time, Brahma could realize that he is the smallest Brahma of this entire creation of Krishna. So many Brahmandas emanate from the body of Karanadakshayi Vishnu. In each Brahmanda, Lord again enters as Garbhadakshayi Vishnu. From the navel of Garbhadakshayi Vishnu, Brahma appears. So we are talking about this Brahma, this Brahmanda, where Brahma appears from the navel, and when he appears, everything was completely dark. He had no power even to see. When Brahma took full shelter of the Lord, then out of compassion, the Lord appeared before him. So he could not see anything, it was completely dark. But he heard a sound, tap, 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 chant, tap, do austerities. So then Brahma started doing tapasya. What's the meaning of tapasya? Voluntarily accepting difficulties to know the transcendental truth. So started chanting, tap, tap, tap. You started chanting the Lord's name, and then Lord, out of his costless mercy, appeared. And then Brahma received the transcendental knowledge so that he could understand the various incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Though the subcreation responsibility is given, but to understand the various incarnations of Krishna, for that special mercy is required by Krishna, from Krishna. 7 different births of Brahma are described in Mahabharata. Besides being born from the lotus, Brahma was born from the mind, the eyes, speech, ears, nose, and egg. When Brahma was born from the lotus, he opened his eyes and could not see his worshipable Lord. He then took shelter of the Lord and was able to see him. Therefore, it is stated in the Vedas, Katha Upanishad states, Mundaka Upanishad also states, Nayam Atma Pravachinena Labhyas na Medaya na Bahuna Shutena Yame Ishaha Vrutetena Labhyo Tasye Atma Vrutetam Swam. Very important words to be memorized. If I hear so much, can I understand Krishna? If I speak so much, can I understand Krishna? Nayam Atma Pravachinena Labhyas. Not with so much of pravachan, I can understand Krishna. Na medasana bahuna shrutena. Even if with my intelligence, I cannot understand Krishna. Na medasana bahuna shrutena. Even if I hear, go on hearing, still very difficult to understand Krishna. Yameva ishaha vrutetena labhyas. Lord has to reveal. Only it is dependent on revelation and mercy of Krishna. Yameva isha vrutetena labhyas. Tasyeisha Atma Bhutetam Swam. It is Krishna who reveals about himself. He manifests his own form. Yameva Isha Bhutetena Labhyas Tasyeisha Atma Bhutetam Swam. Tanuswam. He discloses about himself only to one he selects. And Krishna gives the selection, what should be the qualification. Tesham Satatiptanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamam Padante. Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. I will give you the Buddhi, Krishna says. Krishna gives the intelligence and Krishna manifests his own forms. Tasye Shatma Brunute Tanuswam. Tanuswam is his own. He appears his form to one he has selected. If he chooses, nobody can stop him. The omnipotent Lord Krishna manifests his quality of magnificence and thus empowered Lord Brahma to realize his constitutional position and disseminate transcendental knowledge. Therefore, the word Om Ataha manifested from the mouth of Brahma. As a result, Lord Brahma understood the causelessly merciful advent and the wonderful variegated past tense of Satchidananda Vigraha through the descending process rather than the ascending process. This is confirmed in the Bhagavatam. It is he only who first imparted Vedic knowledge into the heart of Brahma, the original living being. Without the powerful glorification of Krishna from the mouth of pure devotees, the living entities are unable to get free from the clutches of Maya in the form of aversion to Krishna by uttering lifeless words born of material enjoyment. So here, so Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, it is Lord who gave this knowledge to Brahma. That is why it appears in the descending order. It is not from down, it goes up, from the up, it comes down. And Brahma in turn gives his knowledge to Narada to Vyasa, Vyasa to Padmanabha. In this way it comes, Vyasa to Madhva, Madhva to Padmanabha. In this way the knowledge flows to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who in turn gives his knowledge to his disciples, then to his disciples, and this way the knowledge flows. When we glorify Krishna, then we can become free from the clutches of Maya. And just by hearing the glorification of Krishna, our lifeless heart gains prana. The real prana is Krishna. It has been spoken. So here we'll stop. Any doubts you can ask. So yesterday there was a doubt about three modes of material nature. They are governed by Krishna. There's a permutation and combination of the modes of material nature. Not that one person is completely in the mode of goodness. The percentage may be high. For some, percentage of passion may be high. For some, the other modes are very negligible. Tamo is more. Goodness and passion are hardly seen. Hardly seen is very negligible proportion, like 0.00001. The activities of a person depends on these modes. And also our day is also divided into three modes. Early morning is for chanting, isn't it? Early morning, why they say early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy and wise. Early mornings, Satoguna is so much in the atmosphere. So if you see the activities of a person in the mode of goodness, the first thing he will do is he'll wake up early in the morning. That is a time you can do a lot of sadhana. You can chant the holy name. Devotees means one who wakes up before 6 o'clock. Exceptions are for small children. But they also should wake up by 6:30. They should not be allowed to sleep so much. When the sun rises, before sun rises, a person should wake up. And pure devotees, they wake up more early. Because to understand pure devotional service, under the shelter of acharyas, the devotees wake up by 3:15, 3:30, take bath and sit for chanting. 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock is the most appropriate time for chanting. That is the time when you chant, you can understand the power of chanting also. As the day progresses, for a person in the pure devotional service, it is not, for a whole day he'll be chanting. Like Haridas Thakur, whole day is chanting. But for a person who is engrossed in the grahastha life also, then he has to go to work. That is why as the day progresses, passion is more in the atmosphere. And that passion makes you work more. And then the night a person is tired, then he should sleep. That is the time the atmosphere provides tamoguna. Because of tamas, you get sleep. Sleep is good as long as it is used in the service of Krishna. If you are sleeping to give rest to the machine, this body is compared to the machine, till that time the sleep is acceptable. If the sleep is only for sense gratification, it is not accepted. Here we'll stop. Hare Krishna. Any doubt? प्रिया, ओके, हरे कृष्ण, स्टॉप हियर।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी,
हरे
धन्यवाद
कृष्णा,
माता जी।
हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी।
कोई डाउट है माता जी?
ये
हाँ बोलिए।
माता जी वो स्लीप के बारे में और एक बार बताइए ना।
हम सोते क्यों? अगर भक्त सोता है तो शरीर को थोड़ा आराम देने के लिए, ताकि ये शरीर से हम वापस भगवान का सेवा कर सकें। लेकिन अगर हम सिर्फ इसलिए सो रहे हैं ताकि हमें टाइम पास नहीं हो रहा है, बस सोते ही जा रहे हैं, सोते ही जा रहे हैं, और सोने के लिए भी बहुत प्रयास करते हैं, नींद भी बराबर आता नहीं है। रात को 11 बजे 12 बजे बैठ के टीवी देखते बैठेंगे तो वो नींद नहीं, उसे नींद नहीं कहते। सेंस करके नींद आने के लिए कितने लोग कितना प्रयास करते हैं और सोते भी नहीं है। वही तो प्रॉब्लम है। समय पे सोना चाहिए, समय पे उठना चाहिए। रात भर जागते रहेंगे तो दिन इफेक्ट होगा। जब दिन इफेक्ट होगा, खाली हरिदास ठाकुर के स्तर पे ऐसे शुद्ध भक्त हैं जैसे श्रील प्रभुपाद जैसे, जो 2 घंटा सिर्फ आराम करते। युक्ताहार विहार से युक्त चेष्ट सकर्मसु युक्त सपन बोध से योगो भवति दुख। कृष्ण कहते हैं भगवद गीता में, एक साधक को प्रॉपर स्लीप रहना चाहिए, प्रॉपर टाइम में उठना चाहिए, और तब साधना अच्छा करेगा। अगर वो प्रॉपर टाइम में सोएगा नहीं, प्रॉपर टाइम में उठेगा नहीं, और फिर दिन में ना चैंटिंग करेगा ना रीडिंग करेगा, ये सब दिया है। ठीक है, ओके माता जी।
ओके माता जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच। हरे कृष्ण।